Hey, welcome back. We've got some pens here, and here are the rest of the Magnus pens from this holiday collection that I've been talking about. I don't know if I'll be able to fit all these on here. There's so many, but let's give it a try. So I went through the first batch. I actually learned something which was cool. I learned a little more about how these batch numbers work. So no rocket science here, but PLA, PLB, PLC, PLD, PLE. So they progress, and I don't know if you make small changes or whatever from PLC to PLD to PLE, but basically he's using this naming convention of Pen Lab D, Pen Lab C, Pen Lab E, and so on. Pen Lab E being the most recent. So let's start there. Here is a Jewel Dark Matter. I haven't gotten to check out this finish yet, so I'm excited to get this one in hand and see what I think. But if you missed the first video, I'd recommend going and watching it. The idea here is that we will be making some of these available. Some of them I'm going to keep, but making a number of these available at very reasonable prices. So watch out for that. I'll figure out how I'm going to do it. But so far, this Jewel one looks really nice in hand. It actually reminds me a little bit of like a sort of like a small hex or / dragon skin almost. That is really nice. It's actually one of my favorite millings I've seen so far for Magnus there. Very nice, very nice. And pretty much all these pens from this collector have been brand new. You can see refill has not been deployed. So good stuff. Let's throw this one in and just keep working our way through the pens and see what we think here. Okay, this one's super simple. I don't think we really need to look at it. It's just a basic stonewash finish here. That one's a PLC. Got one from the PLD group. These I'm always interested in seeing how they came out. So this is a fire acid, basically an entropic anodized finish. And they're all pretty different, so you kind of never know what you're going to get. This one's a little darker than the last one that I got. So kind of cool there. Very different on both sides, actually. Popping over here now. Ooh, a rainbow frag. Cool. This one's the large frag. I personally really like the medium frag, but the large one's pretty awesome too. That's a pretty nice milling there. All of his sort of stonewash or polished finishes just look so nice. They feel so good in hand. It's really my favorite Magnus finish is this, whatever this proprietary sort of mid-polish is. It just, that really pops and feels really nice in the hand when you're checking it out. So another nice one there. This one's PLD number 69. So sure some emotionally immature viewer will love that. Sorry if that's just your favorite number or whatever. This one's the small frag. So in between the medium, I should say in between the small and the large is the medium. This one is the small frag. Feels pretty nice there too. That's just a nice grip to it, and that's a good look. That's a good looking pen. Okay, and we continue. I've had a long week. Been spending too much time on the social media during the Thanksgiving break, and just got into it over people that were reselling and taking advantage. I'll tell you what I don't like. And I made a mistake, so I'll take ownership over the fact that I shared some semi-private information that, maybe they don't want people to know or whatever, but about a trade. That was my bad. But what I cannot get over is, and this is something we saw in the knife community too, like eventually you find these people that justify like, oh, well, this person really wants this pen, and they like act like they're this person's friend or whatever, and they're charging like 3-4x table value when they didn't pay that themselves, it's like, which, even if they pay it themselves, it's like you're creating the problem. Either the buyer is creating the problem or the seller is creating the problem. Either way, you're creating the problem if you're engaging in buying and selling above table value to the point where it's like you're using the financial incentive to get the person to release the pen, or you are accepting the financial incentive to release the pen. And look, none of us are perfect, but I got sucked into it. And I started going, oh yeah, I'm going to go get a bunch of, pens for trade bait. And this is the thing, is that these are pens that people want, that people are buying out of stores to use for trade bait, like the Otmogs and stuff. Call it like it is. If you're not going to keep it, use it, enjoy it, cherish it, what you're doing is you're trying to get it to use for trade bait. And that is something that someone else could get, use, enjoy, etc. So, look, my 2 cents, you can have your own opinion, but I really just have not appreciated the way that people react to that, because we've seen this before. I know the pen community is a lot less, it's been around as long as the knife community. Ooh, nice snake here. That golf ball was pretty nice too. It's been around as long as the knife community, but it hasn't been like hot. The pen game is getting hot right now. It's kind of where the knife game was 5 or 10 years ago. That is a really cool snake pattern. I have not seen that before with the stonewash and then the milling through it. I really like that one. That was one of the main ones that I was thinking about keeping for myself there. Really like that. Anyways, we saw these guys in the knife community. I won't name names, but they would go, oh, we're all buddy-buddy, that's my bro and stuff. But they were buying stuff for table price and selling it for sometimes 2-3x table price, which in knives could be a $1,200 knife being resold for like $3,000. You're not adding value to anyone. You're not being a bro. You are profiteering. You are extracting people's financial well-being for your profit and improving your financial well-being. So just call it like it is. Just admit you're a reseller. Admit you're taking advantage for personal gain, and that's fine. You're absolutely entitled to do that, and I'm absolutely entitled to say you are taking advantage of people. You are taking advantage of less knowledgeable buyers, people that were not available at the time of the drop, whatever it is. And that is absolutely fair. That is a really cool, I've been trying to get one, stonewashed double helix. That is a really neat effect to it there. This one is a PLC pen. This is one of the earlier double helixes where they were like a little bendy. I've never heard of anyone bending one, not having it bend back or something, but kind of cool. You can actually like bend the pen. Cool or not cool, depending on how you think about it. All of the ones that I've handled have functioned completely perfectly after you bend them a little bit. So I don't think it's a real issue, but it's not ideal. So sorry for speaking my mind. I know you probably want to focus on the pens here and stuff, but look, community, there's a term for it. There's a meaning behind it. And I think if you are basically just selling things to gain personally, it's not very cool. So everyone can take their own approach, but I can just say I appreciate when people sell these to me for less money than more money. So I imagine they feel the same, and yet they don't extend that same opportunity to other people when they sell their pens. So that's my 2 cents. Someone told me this week to be a bit more, I think they said magnanimous. Well, there you go. Yeah, don't take advantage of people. That seems like a good way to be more noble, right? I think so. And look, you got something super rare. Maybe you don't want to sell it. You want to trade it for something. I get that. You want to trade it for something else super rare. I get it. But selling it for $1,000 or $2,000 when it was a $200 pen, yeah, not going to convince me that that's a noble act. Not a chance. So we are going to take a noble approach, though, to distributing these throughout the community, and I hope that you appreciate it. That's all for now. If you enjoyed, please feel free to like and subscribe, and if you didn't, feel free to unsubscribe. It's fine by me. Take care.